Giant Digger is the signature roller coaster at Lotte World Busan. This is a Mack launch coaster that's a near clone of Blue Fire at Europa Park. This is one of the better off-the-shelf layouts out there, and I will explain why in this review. Mack Rides has long been a player in the amusement industry. For most of their history, they were known for their non-coasters and a series of smaller coaster models such as Wild Mice. But they upped their game significantly in 2009 with Blue Fire at Europa Park. This was a large-scale coaster with a launch and multiple inversions. Mack has continued to iterate, and they are now considered one of the premier manufacturers for thrilling roller coasters. But they still offer the original Blue Fire layout for customers. It has been reused 9 times. One of those rides is Giant Digger. This opened in 2022 as the headlining attraction at the brand new Lotte World Busan, South Korea. This particular version has 2 changes from the original layout. First is a mirror image. Second, and more impactfully, the final inversion has been modified to make it a bit less intense, but I'll talk about that later in the play-by-play. Giant Digger was smartly positioned in the front corner of the park, putting it front and center for the arrival experience. The layout is highly visible from both the parking lot and the main entrance. Then it looks great from within the park as well. The orange track really pops on a sunny day. And I like how there's a dedicated walkway built underneath the ride solely to serve as an observation area. It is placed in the Underland section of the park, which is themed to mining. A few of the valleys have some rock work. The launch building has a large drill in the side of it. Then the station building is a blend of a wooden shed and a rocky mine with crystals sticking out of it. All of this looks good. This aesthetic continues during the queue line itself. It begins by passing some jewels and western theming. Then you continue through a mine-themed queue switching between wooden arches and rocky walls. It looks really good. The queue is physically long, but normally, you're going to walk through a majority of it. Crowds have been relatively light ever since this park opened. I visited on a summer weekend for reference, and this coaster maxed out as a 20-minute wait, and that was only for a small portion of the day. That was even with this coaster not being operated with the highest throughput. The train seats a max of 20 riders per cycle, as it has 5 cars with 2 rows of 2. This part is fine. The park was running just 1 train though, and I've heard that is typically the case. The park owns a second train if it's ever needed though. 2 touring notes about this ride. First, since this coaster is located next to the main entrance, most people are going to head here immediately, so that is when it will likely have its longest wait. By the afternoon, this ride was a total walk-on for me. So that may be the wiser time to experience this attraction if you have a full day here. Second, if you do visit on a busy day, this is included in the park's paid Magic Pass Skip the Line system. You are routed directly to the station, often boarding the next train. When it's your turn to board, you can select any open row. If the row you want is already occupied, staff members will allow you to wait an extra cycle. I think the forces are fairly similar for most elements, but I have a slight preference for the front row to feel the wind slapping in your face in the initial launch. The trains are identical to the ones found in all of Mack's newer thrill coasters, and I really like these trains. They have elevated seats that allow your feet to freely dangle. Then, there are overhead lap bars. These are snug, but very comfortable, and they leave your upper body totally free to experience all the elements. Once checked, a bell chimes. Seconds later, the train is dispatched. You round a corner adjacent to the park's entry plaza and head inside a show building. I expected some sort of dark ride sequence, especially with the projectors on the walls, but nothing happened for me. When this works properly, there are some projection map jewels on the walls and door in front of you, but unfortunately, this effect is often broken. Very few POVs actually show it working. After pausing for a few seconds, a siren goes off. Then, you have an LSM launch, accelerating you to 62 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour. Mack launches are often criticized in the coaster community for being weak, but I think the Blue Fire clones actually have decent power to them. You'll feel a bit of a kick as you blast out of the building. This leads to the biggest element. Most coasters choose a top hat or an inversion for their biggest element, but this one uniquely has a giant turnaround. It stands 125 feet or 38 meters tall. The train loses a lot of speed at the top, but this is advantageous, so you get some nice lateral hang time there, especially because of those open trains. The pullout whizzes through a rocky tunnel, and then you have the largest inversion by far, a vertical loop. The train again loses speed at the apex, so you get some traditional hang time this time around. Immediately afterwards, there's a low leftward turn. The train flies through this, so it's snappy with some solid whip to it. The subsequent valley has some good positive Gs. The train then jumps upwards into the mid-course brake run. The entry has nice floater air time in the front few rows. It also offers some light laterals simultaneously from the banking. The brake run itself does not slow the train down one bit, so you carry quite a bit of speed into the second half. The resultant drop off the mid-course offers good floater in the rear rows. It too has a slight curve to it, so it also offers some light laterals as well. Next is a twisted horseshoe roll, which are two corkscrews broken up by a low turn, but these two corkscrews feel more like 0G rolls, as they offer great hang time. I like them a bit better up front because your body is pushed forwards on the roll, but the trade-off in back is they're a bit whippier there. This is followed by an S-hill. It is cool how it pierces through the vertical loop, and it also offers some weak floater air time as well. You then have a bank turn right into the final inversion, the inline twist. On Bluefire and most of the clones, this element is downright violent, in a good way. Usually, it offers wild laterals and whip, along with oodles of hang time. Now, as I noted at the start, this roll was toned down a bit on Giant Digger. You still get the amazing hang time, but the roll is much more graceful. You can see if you look at a side-by-side POV, but the transition into the roll starts earlier and is more stretched out on Giant Digger. The vicious laterals were designed out. While inverted, your body is slowly shifted side to side instead. It is still a great element, but it's not world-class like the roll on Bluefire. You then gently twist into the brake run and decelerate. You then return to the station, ending the 3,465 foot or 1,056 meter long experience. This coaster definitely has a nice overall length to it. In terms of pacing, this coaster excels. Most of the main elements are decent to good, and they come at you at a good clip. Then in terms of smoothness, this ride is glass smooth. This is notable because some of Mack's thrill coasters have opened with or developed a rattle. This includes a few of the Bluefire clones, but this one tracks as well as the original version, thankfully. So, what would I rate Giant Digger? I would give this coaster an 8 out of 10. This is a very good coaster. It is super rideable, and it's a diverse layout doing a bit of everything. The initial launch is solid. There are 4 inversions with good hang time, and there's a pinch of airtime mixed in as well. While I personally would prefer a fully custom layout, the reality is that this layout will be unique for a majority of guests. It is the only one like it in Korea, and it undeniably is a crowd pleaser. Those are my thoughts on Giant Digger, the headlining coaster at Lotte World Busan. What are your thoughts on this coaster, or any of the other Bluefire clones? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.